Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for another video. It's that time again for our college football week 7 picks and predictions. We're going to go over all of our top 25 games for week 7, break them all down, and try to predict the outcome, the winner, loser, final score. We'll also take a look at our best bets, the money lines, the spreads, the over-unders. But this is the quick picks. We're going to run through all these games in under 15 minutes, so make sure to strap yourself in. This is for those of you on time constraints. If you want a more in-depth breakdown, check out our video that came out 2 days ago. That's where we go into detail on every single matchup. But we're going to be flying today, so make sure to pay attention. First things first, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Drop your comments below. Who do you think is going to win these games? If you want to sign up for one of our member teams, check out the pinned comment below. Click on that link. You can sign up there, and I would appreciate it. Kicking everything off Friday night, October 10th, 7:30 p.m., number 24. Welcome back to the top 25, the USF Bulls, 4-1. On the road versus 5-0, the North Texas Mean Green running the air raid, slinging the ball up and down the field. North Texas 53.4% chance to win, practically a 50-50 with the fans. You have USF, the underdog, UNT, 1.5 point favorite, 67.5 over-under. The Bulls 36.2 points a game, giving up 22.4. Their main thing, they love to run the ball. Brown throwing the ball, running the ball. They control time of possession, but North Texas, they can also score 44.8 points a game, giving up 20. Their biggest weakness, they give up 180 yards per game on the ground. USF will have a lot of success running the ball. Give me USF walking away with a hard-fought, high-scoring victory, 37-34. And then moving on to Saturday, October 11th, 12 p.m. on Fox, the Big Ten matchups. Number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes, 5-0, undefeated, the defending national champions on the road versus number 17, the Fighting Illini, 5-1. It's Big Ten versus Big Ten. This game will be decided in the trenches. You have the Buckeyes, heavy favorites, 82.3% chance to win. Buckeyes are 14.5 point favorites, 50.5 over. Ryan Day, Hartline, Patricia, really good coaching staff for the Buckeyes. The number 1 defense last year, and they have the number 1 defense again this season. They're averaging 37.4 points a game, throwing for 280, running for 172, only giving up 5 points per game, 124 through the air, 91 on the ground. That's as good as it gets. The Fighting Illini, 37 points a game, giving up 24. Luke Altmaier, third year on this team. That experience has to count for something. But when you look at the Buckeyes, saying slinging it right now, Jackson's running the ball hot. Smith, Ennis, Tate, the best wide receiver core in the nation. They win this one on the road. The defense for the first time gives up double digits, but it's only 10. Buckeyes win 32-10. Then moving over to the SEC, 12 p.m. on ABC, number 8 Alabama, 4-1. Since they lost to Florida State, this team's been rolling. Simpson looking like a Heisman contender. They are having a lot of success throwing the ball. That's what the board wants to do, vertically push the ball down the field. If they ever get the run game figured out, watch out this team. Focus on the run game, the ground and pound. You'll need it second half of this season. And with the run game will come a lot of success throwing the ball with the play action. Miller, Bernard, Ryan Williams might be back this game. They have a good defense on the road versus number 14 Missouri, 5-0. Yes, they haven't played anyone, but the teams they played, they've been curb stomping them. Props to Drinkowitz. He's won 10 games back-to-back seasons. Pro Bowl looks like a complete steal from Penn State. Hardy almost 800 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns. Crazy numbers. Right now, Bama 63.4% chance to win. They are 4.5 point favorites, 53.5 over-under. Bama 36.4 points a game, throwing for 325, running for 127. Concentrate on that run game, giving up 16 points. Missouri, they do everything. 45.2 points a game, throwing for 256, running for 292, almost 600 yards of offense per game, only giving up 14.6, but they haven't seen a machine like Bama yet, but I think they play their hearts out. This game is close. It goes down to the end of the fourth. Bama ultimately wins 30-27. And on ESPN at 12 p.m., 3-2 Pittsburgh Panthers on the road versus number 25 Florida State, 3-2, riding a 2-game losing streak. I'm going to call it like this. Florida State, they are going to be out for revenge, and unfortunately for Pitt, they're just unfortunately the next team on the schedule. Florida State, 77.1% chance to win, 9.5 point favorites, 58.5 over-under. Pitt, they are slinging the ball, but they lost Holstein. He's out. With him is a lot of that offense. He was a great quarterback, 41 points a game, throwing for 307, giving up 19.6, but their general on the field will not be playing this game. Florida State, 46.8 points a game, throwing for 265, running for 195, giving a 20.8 points per game. Castellanos, just keep the turnovers down. Sawchuk, Robinson, he's the primary guy. Let that wide receiver core step up, though. The rest of those guys have to get the ball distributed to them. Florida State, they're out for revenge. They roll through this game 34-20. And at 12:45 p.m. on the SEC Network, the 3-2 Washington State Cougars, the top team in the Pac-12. Guys, that's sarcasm. That's a joke. They'll be playing number 4 Ole Miss Rebels, 5-0. Lane Kiffin's team, you know they're going to score some points. Ole Miss, 98.5% chance to win, 32.5 point favorites, 59 over-under. I hate massive spreads, but you know they're going to be able to score. Washington State, 20.6 points a game, giving up 28.8. That doesn't bode well here. Ole Miss, 40.6 points a game, throwing for 323, running for 208, giving up 18.8. Chambliss, since he's taken over the reins, it looks great. Lacey closing in on 500. Wallace the third closing in on 400. Give me Ole Miss rolling away with the game here, but get your starters out. SEC plays coming up soon. They win this one 48-13. And our very next game is the game of the week. CBS 3:30 p.m. top 10 versus top 10 matchup. Number 7 Indiana Hoosiers 5-0. The Fighting Cignettis on the road versus number 3 Oregon Ducks in Eugene. Difficult place to play. The 5-0. The undefeated Oregon Ducks, the defending Big Ten champs. The Ducks 69.5% chance to win. Do not underestimate Indiana, or they'll do like they did the Fighting Illini 63-10. The Ducks don't want that to happen to them, guys. That's not going to happen. Right now, Oregon 9.5-point favorites, 54.5 over under. These teams are loaded. Mendoza 16 touchdowns, 1 pick. Hemby's closing in on 400. Surratt, so many weapons for Indiana. This team is better than the team that made the playoffs last year. But Oregon, top 5 overall roster, built by Dan Lanning in the trenches. They're averaging 46.6. Throwing for 264, running for 240, giving up 12.2. How about Dante Moore? His first season as a starter, 1,200 yards, 14 touchdowns, 1 pick. They're loaded. They seize this game second half. Their depth makes a factor here. They win 32-20. And then one of the best rivalries in all of college sports, the Red River rivalry, ABC, 3:30 p.m. Number 6, the Oklahoma Sooners, 5-0 undefeated. The big news, John Mateer, will he be playing? He went from unlikely to questionable to it's probable, guys. I honestly think he's going to be on the field. I will be picking this game as if Mateer plays. They'll be playing the 3-2 Texas Longhorns. What's the health status of Mateer, though? Is he fully healthy? Will he be able to run the ball? We know when he plays in tough games, he runs 20 to 25 physical carries per game. He is the Sooners' run game. That is a big issue, but the guy runs very well. Texas limping into this game after the loss to Florida. That was a really crappy look. Arch Manning has not lived up to expectations. The defense had their first letdown of the season last week. Texas, 61.9% chance to win. 3-point favorites, 42.5 over under. Sooners, 33 points a game, giving up 7.2. Great top 10 defense. Texas, a top 5 overall roster, 29.6 points a game, giving up 12. So much are going to hinge on Manning with that Oklahoma Sooners front seven. They're going to come after him, try to create quarterback pressure, try to force some turnovers. I think they will be able to do that, but Texas will play better, obviously, than they did last week, but I think the Sooners pull off the upset. They win 23-17. 3:30 p.m. ACC Network, 2-4 Virginia Tech Hokies. Brent Pry's been fired versus number 13, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, undefeated 5-0. The second place ACC team next to Miami. Georgia Tech, 79.8% chance to win. 14.5-point favorites, 55.5 over under. Georgia Tech, they looked awful their last game. Went into overtime versus Wake Forest, but they played a crappy game. They got the win. That's all that matters. They're averaging 37 points a game, giving up 21. Virginia Tech, 23.5 points a game, giving up 28.3. Georgia Tech, they run the ball. They control clock, control time of possession. King on the ground, that makes the difference. Third and short situations, third and long situations, this guy's taken off. He's very hard to get down. Successful running game, and they also have Haynes, a great running back, one of the best in the ACC. Georgia Tech gets the win, 32-17. They remain undefeated. And don't underestimate this next game. Peacock, 3:30 p.m., 4-2 NC State Wolfpack. Really good offense versus number 16 Notre Dame, 3-2. Notre Dame, one of the best offenses in the country. They had the number 3 defense last year. Defense first 3 games, they looked awful. They have come around the last couple of matchups, shutting people down. The Irish, 92.3% chance to win, 22.5-point favorite. 62.5 over under, but NC State can score some points, 33.8 points a game, giving up 25. But Notre Dame, 40.8 points a game, throwing for 283, running for 179, giving up 23.6. They got the playmakers. Carr, Love, Pierce, Faison. Great house. The offense is rolling. The defense starting to get stops. They win 44-23. 3:30 p.m. on ESPN, number 22, the Iowa State Cyclones, 5-1, coming off of an upsetting loss last week. Matt Campbell, you got to get this team back on track. Thankfully for you, you got Rocco Beck, third year with this team. He's a veteran. He will get everyone to rally back up. They'll be playing 2-4, the Colorado Buffaloes. Iowa State, 63.1% chance to win, 4.5-point favorites, 51.5 over under. The Cyclones, 31.3 points a game, giving up 18.2. Solid team, disciplined team. Colorado, 25 points a game, giving up 24.8. They're more balanced than they were last season, but they're a couple seasons away from having the depth to compete with the Cyclones. Give me Iowa State getting back in the win column, 28-20. They better not drop 2 straight. How about this one? SEC Network, 4:15 p.m. Everything is saying this game is going to be complete a shootout. It's going to be fireworks all over the place. The 2-3 Arkansas Razorbacks, Bobby Petrino taking over. He's been there before. He's a great offensive mind. They'll be on the road versus 4-1, number 12 Tennessee Volunteers. Josh Heupel team, also one of the best offensive minds in all of college football. Tennessee, 82.6% chance to win, 13.5-point favorites, 69.5 over under. The Razorbacks, 37.4 points a game, throwing for 301, running for 214, giving up 30 points a game. They give up a buttload of points, but they will match you score for score. Tennessee, 51 points a game, throwing for 337, running for 199, giving up 29 points a game. They had a top 10 defense last year. They don't have that this season, but they're scoring a lot more points. Joey Aguilar against Tyler Green. Green, 1,400 yards passing, almost 500 rushing. He's a little bit of everything, but Tennessee, more balanced with a slightly better defense. They get the win here, but it's a shootout. They win 44-33. Staying in the SEC at 7 p.m. on ESPN, the 2-3 Florida Gators coming off of upsetting Texas and actually getting them booted out of the top 25. This was the Gators a lot of people expected to see. DJ Lagway played great. The defense continues to play at a top 20 level. If they can continue to run the ball, if Billy Napier continues to actually call running plays, they have a shot here. Defense travels on the road here, and Billy, he is on the hot seat. They'll be playing number 5, Texas A&M Aggies, 5-0 undefeated. Mike Elko, they're going to be disciplined, and they're going to score some points. The Aggies, 73.9% chance to win at College Station. 8.5-point favorites, 45.5 over under Florida. 23.4 points a game, only giving up 17. This is a defensively led team. Texas A&M, 34.8 points a game. Reed is just going off at the quarterback position. 1,300 passing yards, 11 touchdowns, 3 picks. They're throwing for 271. Running for 195. They got bounds here. Craver, almost 600 yards receiving so far. They're giving up 21 points a game. I think they have just enough to inch out the Gators, but Florida's defense will make it competitive. Aggies win 24-16. And then on Fox at 7:30 p.m., upset alert. The 4-2 Kansas Jayhawks, they are upset-minded. Daniels having his most efficient, productive season so far. 1,500 passing yards, 16 touchdowns, only 2 picks. A lot of interceptions last year. That is not the case. He's playing at peak level right now. They'll be on the road versus number 9, the Texas Tech Red Raiders, 5-0. Texas Tech, one of the best teams in college football. This is great stuff to watch. Number 1 transfer portal class, top 10 offense, top 10 defense. They can even run the ball with this air raid team. They do everything. 74.4% chance to win. Texas Tech, 14.5-point favorites, 60.5 over under. Kansas, 35 points a game, giving up 20.5 points a game. Texas Tech, 48.6 points per game. Throwing for 364, running for 205, almost 600 yards of offense, giving up 11.2, only 65.6 on the ground. Can you believe Texas Tech is a trench warfare type football? What is happening? The world is flipped over. Fun for Texas Tech fans. Texas Tech holds on to this game, but like I said, upset alert potential. They win 42-24. 7:30 p.m. on ABC, number 10, the Georgia Bulldogs, 4-1. This is the type of game that Georgia could get upset on. They'll be playing 3-2 Auburn Tigers. Hugh Freeze feeling the heat right now, and they have a good defense. They still cannot throw the ball for like the 3rd or 4th straight season. Georgia, 64.5% chance to win, 3.5-point favorites, 46.5 over under. Never underestimate Auburn. They always have 1 or 2 upsets in their back pocket. Georgia, 34.6 points a game, giving up 18.4. I want to see them concentrate on the run game just a little more. Defense has to get things back on track, and people need to hold on to the ball. Auburn, 27.6 points a game, but Jackson Arnold, if you let him run every single down, he would run every single down. They are only giving up 16.4 points a game. Very talented wide receiver room. Give the ball to the playmakers. I think Georgia inches out the win, but it's a close one. They win 28-23. 7:30 p.m. on NBC, another upset alert game. Number 15, Michigan Wolverines, 4-1. Bryce Underwood, the true freshman, great season so far. Everything is on his shoulders. He's continuing to do it. Haynes at running back, almost 700 yards. He's running 7 yards per carry. How long will that keep up? They'll be going up against 4-1 USC Trojans. USC, 68.5% chance to win, 2.5-point favorites, 55.5 over under. The unranked team is the favorite here. Michigan, 32.8 points a game, but they're running for almost 240, only giving up 16.2. This is a defensive, old school style line of scrimmage football team. USC, 48.4 points a game, giving up 23. They have Mayaba. They have Jordan. Lemon Lane, one of the best wide receiver cores in the nation, and they have Lincoln Riley calling plays. I think this is a close game. USC pulls off the upset, but it's close. 33-27. SEC Network, 7:45 p.m., 3-2 South Carolina versus 4-1 LSU Tigers, number 11. They got to get the pass game going. They got to get the run game going. They do have a good defense, though. They have a 73% chance to win. LSU, 9.5-point favorites, 44.5 over under. South Carolina, 24.8 points a game, giving up 18.8. If Sellers plays up to his potential, they could pull off the upset. LSU, though, a very difficult place to play. 27 points a game, giving up 12.2. They have a top 10 defense. The offense has been awful. At some point, they have to turn things on. They cannot afford to drop this one. They hold on to a close game, 28-24. 8 p.m. ESPN2, number 18, BYU Cougars, 5-0 undefeated. They won 10 games last season. They're going to make another run at the Big 12 championship. They lost Retzlaff right before the season started. Doesn't matter. Bachmeier steps in. This team has never looked back. They are having a lot of success. Run the ball, playing good defense against 4-1, the Arizona Wildcats. Fafita's back for another season. BYU, 69.7% chance to win. 2.5-point favorites, 47.5 over under. They're averaging 38.4, giving up 12.2. Really good defense, running for 235. Arizona, 33.2 points a game, giving up 15.6. Very much of a surprise team. Much improved over where they were last season. But BYU, the run game, the defense goes with them on the road to Arizona. They win it 24-17. And our final game is another upset alert game, 10:15 p.m. ESPN, number 21, Arizona State Sun Devils, 4-1. Sam Levitt, he does everything on this team. Brown runs the ball. Tyson, really good wide receiver. They're on the road versus 4-1. The Utah Utes. Kyle Whittingham wants to get back in the top 25. Utah here at home, very difficult place to play. 69.6% chance to win. Arizona State is the underdog. Utah, 5.5-point favorites, 49.5 over under. They are only giving up 14.6, averaging 39. Dampier at the quarterback position. He's doing everything. Arizona State, 29.2 points a game, giving up 21.2. Very competitive game, but Utah holds out. They pull off the upset. They win 20 27-23. Guys, that's our quick picks. We had to wrap it up quick. Hit that like button, subscribe, drop your comment below. Who do you think is going to win? We wrapped that up in just under 15 minutes. Thank you for watching.